He really made a plan and we're gonna stick with it, and I'm just feeling so relieved. Y'all can see what it looks like without the needle in it. On our adventure.
Oh, you got freezing cold here.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Happy to report I made it through the night with no issues infusing. I was perfectly fine. I'm not hooked up right now because I finished one of my infusion bags and I got to go downstairs and hook up to the next one. Also, my vision seems to have improved slightly, but I'm still not comfortable with how blurry it is. So obviously still going to mention it to my doctor this morning. My cousin's up and ready. I'm nearly ready to go. We're going to hit the road soon to go to that doctor's appointment. Cause like I'm doing okay, much better than when I was in the hospital because I'm actually able to eat, but I'm not good enough with my intake yet. And I feel like I'm gonna crash back into some severe problems with my gastroparesis if we don't get a better handle on it now. So I'm hopeful he'll have some answers for me. So let's get ready. Good morning, Harlow. Harlow, okay, come on. Good girl. Our room is kind of a mess. This explosion usually happens when Judd gets back from drill, but it's not as bad as it usually is. Right, Harlow? You good girl? Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Jaquie.
How'd you sleep?
Pretty good.
Awesome. You ready to take me to the doctor?
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much, by the way. We appreciate your help.
Well, you're welcome.
We're on the way to my doctor's. I've hooked up to my infusion. I also decided to run the Roomba downstairs while we're gone just to try and catch up with the cleaning that wasn't done in the house while I was in the hospital. I got to keep the house really clean due to my immunodeficiency and allergies, and my eyes are already so itchy from the cleaning just not being kept up with, but that's okay, it happens when you're in the hospital. So anyways, Judd also broke my sunglasses on Mother's Day by accident, and they're specifically made for migraines, and they're expensive, but I need to go ahead and buy a new pair because they do help me a lot. They're called Deaccessed if anybody's interested. I love the company, and yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and buy a new pair pretty soon because not enjoying and not having sunglasses in bright and sunny Florida. That appointment went super well, as it always does with this doctor. Now we're gonna head home. Thanks again for driving, Daniel, and I will update y'all about the appointment when we get back to my house. The appointment went really well. So first off, we talked about my vision issues and how my vision has been blurry ever since starting the Compazine. And my doctor told me that the Compazine could still possibly be in my system, and since my vision is progressively getting better and better, slowly but surely, he isn't too worried about it. But if my symptoms persist for a long amount of time, I'll need to see an eye doctor. We're also increasing my fluids to continuous every single day, so I'm going to be on continuous fluids from now on until this flare or gastroparesis issue is resolved. And we're also going to add in a banana bag 3 times a week. I got one of those in the hospital. It was the yellow looking infusion bag that I got. It has nutrients in it that I'm not getting because I'm not eating enough. It has sugar in there to help keep my sugar levels stable, and electrolytes, and just things that are going to be really good for me, seeing as I'm having a lot of difficulty with my intake. And that's going to be added 3 times a week. Another thing we're going to do is give me oral erythromycin. That was the antibiotic I was on in the hospital in IV form, and it's supposed to stimulate your appetite and help with gastroparesis. So I'm going to take it up to 4 times a day before meals to help stimulate my appetite and get me eating. So fingers crossed that will help. He also gave me a script for something called Vivanex Plus. It's a supplemental drink mix that is way better for me than Ensure, and hopefully that'll help me add on a few extra calories by just being a small amount that I have to drink, so that's good too. And we're gonna look further into my median arcuate ligament syndrome, and that's basically where the median arcuate ligament in my abdomen compresses the celiac artery, restricting blood flow and causing a lot of digestive issues. So that could definitely be contributing to my gastroparesis issues right now. We're going to look further into it with an angiogram, which is imaging with contrast, and from there we'll decide if we need to send my records to a mal specialist or something like that. You can learn more about my median arcuate ligament syndrome in my All About My Chronic Illness video. In 2 weeks, I'll follow up with my doctor and we'll go over the imaging of my celiac artery. And also, if I'm doing well on this new regimen, awesome. If I'm not doing well, I'm staying the same, not improving, or I'm getting worse and close to the point of needing the hospital again, we're gonna look into other options, and those options include a feeding tube. We agreed that an NJ would still be the best option for me, which is nasal jejunum. It goes through your nose, down your esophagus, into your small intestine, so it bypasses my stomach, which is the main issue. Because all my other intestines work, it's just my stomach that's giving us the issue. And it'll be able to give me the nutrition I need. And a feeding tube would actually take a lot of pressure off me to force feed myself and then vomit from force feeding myself, and the pressure to get enough calories in the day, and the issues with the weight loss. So a feeding tube has a lot of benefits, but again, it's something we're hoping to avoid if we can. So that's why I have 2 weeks to see if this new regimen will help, and if not, I'll return and we'll look at other options. But I'm really content with how the appointment went. It went so much better than it did with my GI, honestly, because my doctor this time, like, he really made a plan and we're gonna stick with it, and I'm just feeling so relieved. I did call my GI's office, even though in our last appointment, she didn't give us any direction for treatment. She just said go to the ER, which wasn't really helpful and wasn't what I was hoping for, but I still called her anyway to let her know how the appointment went with my doctor this morning, and I just want everyone to be in the same field of knowledge for what's going on with my care. So they'll call me back and let me know what they think, and just really happy things are going well. We finally have a solid plan of action in place. Harlow's looking cute. I'm doing my best to eat some leftovers, and Daniel's studying the rings of Saturn, right?
Yes.
Cool. So I have been using my walker lately just due to weakness and unsteadiness from the lack of nutrition. And I need a blanket, but it's always a gamble as whether I'll make it when I'm like this. So I'm gonna have Harlow help me out here so I don't have to get up and use my walker and risk falling. So Harlow, you wanna help me out? Harlow, get the blanket. Get the blanket. There you go. You gotta take it out. Come on. Oh, thank you. Good girl. You gonna go say hi to Daniel? How's the Saturn's rings going, Daniel?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Judd's home. You happy he's home? Yeah. Judd is happy? So Judd is gonna drive my cousin all the way back to Orlando now.
Yup.
Crazy. After you just drove so much yesterday.
That's alright.
He's a good guy, isn't he, Harlow? I've been getting dinner ready in here. Sometimes dinner happens in 2 compartments. One is getting things ready to be cooked, and then one is me actually cooking, and I have to rest in between. So I've gotten all of the things ready here for cooking the chicken. That's the honey mustard glaze that goes on top before it finishes baking. It's really tasty. I got the green beans here ready to cook, the onions that are ready to saute with them, and the fries all laid out ready to go. And now I'm just gonna rest until Judd's close enough to being on his way back home for me to cook dinner. Thanks again for doing all this driving.
I know. Pretty amazing, Ron.
You are. Bye, Daniel.
Bye,
Thank you so much for your help. And good luck in Oxford.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably not gonna see you again until I'm back.
Really? Oh my gosh!
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Have a great time. You're gonna do great over there. Be social, make friends.
I gotta be social, and I gotta like just like, you know, enjoy the horrorness, the
Good.
Harry Potterness, I guess.
The Harry Potterness.
Yeah.
Drive safely.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this purple piece is supposed to stay onto my extension tubing on my port, but it came off when I took the tubing from the infusion off, and then the port extension tubing got blood in it, and it just wasn't sterile anymore, and I don't exactly know how it happened, but it did happen. So I had to deaccess, and now I have to do an emergency, because it's not really an emergency, but I have to do a port needle change. Anyways, y'all can see what it looks like without the needle in it. Just a bump under the skin, and those 3 little nodules show you exactly where the needle has to go, right in the center. So yeah, that's what my port looks like deaccessed. But anyways, okay, now I gotta change my port needle. Let me do that now. Ta-da! New needle in. Okay, I can't really explain what happened, but something did happen and it needed to be changed. And this time I actually didn't include the gauze under the wings. I do that to stop the wings from irritating my skin, but I've never tried it without gauze and the microbial patch. So maybe this patch, this yellow circle, will stop the wings from irritating my skin. So I just wanted to give it a try. And of course the aftermath of that tiny little needle change in order to keep everything sterile. Is it time for dinner? So in addition to her meat and all that, she has some pumpkin in there, some green beans, raspberries, bananas, blackberries, and I am planning to do her pureed veggie pops soon, as soon as I have the energy to do so. Okay. That was good, Har. Judd's almost home, so I've done the chicken and I'm putting it in the oven, and now I'm gonna get started on the green beans and the french fries. We're glazing the chickens with the honey mustard glaze. This stuff is really tasty. Oh, we've got extra this time. Extra! Just kidding. Harlow, come here. Do you have something? Why? Why do you have the keys?
She wants to go for a ride.
You want to go somewhere?
You stuck in a tooth?
Silly dog. Cooking chronic illness style with my walker. And dinner is just about done. We got green beans, french fries, and the honey mustard chicken.
And a weird pooch.
I'm still holding the keys. Dinner is served. Let's hope I can eat a decent amount. Dinner has always tended to be my most successful meal of the day, so I'm pretty confident here. I had about half my green beans, half my fries, and a whole chicken. There goes Judd taking my chicken. But I'm working hard to eat more than I currently am, so just always working hard at that.
Well, we're back to square one.
I did not keep my dinner down, at least not all of it. Just like, due to my bad reaction to the IV Compazine, and since I'm allergic to IV Phenergan, we're gonna appeal IV Zofran, and I just hope the appeal happens quickly because I can't like not go without my, I can't go without my IV anti-nausea meds for very long, so I'm just praying that the appeal happens quickly. We're in bed. I'm not actively infusing right now, even though I'm supposed to be on continuous fluids, because I only have one infusion bag left, and it could take a few days for my home health company to process the new scripts. It is a bummer that I couldn't keep dinner down, but that is the battle I'm facing right now. Hopefully I'll do better as we get myself started on this new regimen my doctor and I came up with today. Really thankful for family that helps, including Judd. He's been such a big help. He always is. Judd's always a big help. So anyways, that's it for our adventure today. Thank you for joining us on our adventure, and we hope you all